Welcome back to the Cloud Monkey Room. I'd like to introduce you to Kaushik. He'll be talking about cloud compliance and security.
Thanks. Hello. Yeah, so my name is Kaushik, and I'm working as a principal solution architect in IOTA. Before joining IOTA, I'm associated with Indicus for almost 10 years. Indicus has been acquired by IOTA recently, so we are now part of IOTA. So why I picked this topic, because see, we have been associated with CloudStack for almost 10 plus years and have done almost 100 plus deployments across different geographical locations, starting from Europe, Saudi, India, etc. Now, the key challenge we face, it's not only about setting up the installation correctly, it's about how we are meeting the regulatory compliances for any specific geographical location. So if I quickly go through the compliances, like in Europe we have GDPR, in MATI is in India, HIPAA for the healthcare sector in US. We have ANSIA compliance in Saudi. We have a couple of clients in Saudi, and they're very strict. So post deployment, we spend almost 6 months to get the compliance clear. Then you all know PCI DSS, the SOC compliances, and the ISO 27001 compliances. From the other compliances like data residency, audit reporting, and again, the compliances are not static, right? It's kind of dynamic. They review in quarterly basis or 6 months basis, and that keeps changing. So one aspect is to mitigate the compliances for different geographical locations. Then the other aspect is the security part. Okay, data protection is the key for any public or private cloud deployments. Everyone needs encryption, right? We have the access control mechanism like MFA and all. We need the IAM features. In CloudStack right now, we only have IAM with respect to the admin side, right? That does not provide. We basically don't have anything with respect to the guest machines or tenant side. But the compliances says the whole infra, including your backend system plus the guest or tenant machine, should be included in the whole framework. Then different aspects of the network security, starting from next-gen firewalls, you have WAF, you have different kind of devices like DDoS, etc. So those should be part of the whole infra. Then the monitoring and the analytical parts. So what we are typically doing here, we are trying to incorporate the all compliance plus security aspects into our solution. So what we are doing in IOTA now, we have included this solutions part of the overall architecture. So we have categorized mainly in two parts. One is the dedicated virtual instances, and the second part is the centralized services. So dedicated virtual instances means we can deploy a specific instance to a tenant VPC environment, like a virtual firewall, like a virtual WAF, or the endpoint securities, like the AVs or the malware protection, endpoint protection part. From the centralized services perspective, we are delivering IAM, backup and replication, the key management solutions, the DDoS, SIEM, the log analysis part. We are doing this as part of the centralized approach. Now this is the whole Epicurus architecture, how we are delivering the overall solution. So it starts from the hardware layer. This is common for all. We have the compute, storage, and network. Then we have the underlay with the different kind of hypervisors. So I'll come to the Netris SDN piece later in the next slide. We are using primarily store pool as part of our hyperconverged strategy. Then we have CloudStack, and these are the two additional components we have added. One is your monitoring and logging piece. Your second part is your shared security solution services, where we have included these components. Now, Epicula sits at the top. It serves the self-service portal plus these components, billing, marketplace, etc. And we are giving the services to the end client, like compute as a service, storage as a service, security as a service. You have database as a service, managed Kubernetes as a service, messaging, and other parts. Right. So to achieve the whole architecture, what we have done, we have moved to a single SDN fabric for both the virtualization layer plus the backend networking layer. So this is one of the architecture we have implemented recently. If you see, these are your HCI host. Each host has 4 NICs. One goes to your the storage leafs and storage network, okay, and the other leaf goes to your north-south or east-west traffic. Now this storage part is completely isolated, so it does not talk to your internet or any external network. We are using leaf spine architecture completely, MLAG, EVPN, multipathing. These are the key parameters. We are using BGP in between the border leaves and yeah. Any questions on this slide? So it's very standard layer 3 EVPN based architecture. We have completely removed spanning tree from this architecture. We are not using STP here. Okay, so this is the hardware fabric. Now what we have done, we are using SDN gateway, which is Netris. Now Netris is managing both your physical fabric as well as your virtualization fabric. Okay, we have not 100%. VR is there. VR is only useful for your DHCP and DNS functions. It's not inline. Okay, but we have completely offloaded the routing NAT LB functions to the VRF. Okay, so there is a VNI which is managed by the Netris agents. This is a L3 EVPN BGP tunnel between your KVM host and the VRF of a specific tenant. Now you can deploy any VNF between the VMs and your Netris agent also. This is one use case without VNF. So in the first use case, the routing, netting, LB or ACLs are being handled by your Netris controller. In the second use case, we have introduced VNF. So now this VNF can be anything. It can be a Palo Alto virtual firewall, it can be a Fortinet virtual firewall, or a pfSense appliance. Okay. So in this case, the gateway of the VMs is the VNF. Okay. Now for the second use case, which is a centralized services, we are hosting all the controllers in the management cluster, and we have a common VRF. Suppose we need to deliver IAM for the guest machines. So we have created a common VRF for IAM, and the common VRF talks to individual tenant VRFs for the connectivity. And that's how we are delivering almost all centralized services, starting from backup, antivirus solutions, IAM services, etc. So this shows both the use cases. This is the first use case for the dedicated virtual instances, and the second use case, shared services, has been delivered. Sorry, by the common VRF. So the other problem, which is data encryption, we have used CloudStack's default encryption feature, but for some use cases or for some specific hypervisors, it won't work. So what we have done on infra level, we have been using SED drives. For all deployment where encryption is must, data at rest encryption is must, we are using SED drives. Now, so the conclusion here is what we are trying to do, apart from the default capabilities of CloudStack, we have included the other solutions to mitigate the compliances or regulatory requirements, irrespective of any geographical locations. Yeah, thank you. Any question?
I'll start with the first question.
Yeah.
First of all, it's great to see you onboarding CloudStack. We're really happy to see you and really happy to have you. I see you already utilizing some of the data at rest security features that we have. We also have some data at motion security features that I'm sure you will you will adopt. But it's not just security; it's also the aspect of the regulatory things that needs to. So my question is, how do you see CloudStack improving in that direction and helping you out with the regulatory front?
Yeah. So the main point is it should be hypervisor agnostic. Okay. Second point is if you are enabling encryption feature, it should not eliminate the one of the basic features. Like if you enable encryption at CloudStack right now, you lose the snapshot feature right now, right? So that should not happen. That's if CloudStack is able to manage that, we are good to. We are happy to eliminate the SED drives because it's a cost, right? So, but right now we don't see any other way.
Yeah. Thank you. Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.